Hello and welcome back to the third college football bowl game prediction in the Beef O Brady's Bowl between Florida International and Marshall.
Marshall comes in this game at a not-so-swell 6-6, finishing 4th in Conference USA, while Florida International comes in at 8-4 and finished 4th in the Sun Belt.
Yes, I believe that Marshall barely made it into this year's bowl because of a last-minute touchdown, so I just don't see him going very far, but let's see how they stack up. This is the first time Marshall has had a bowl game since 2009 when they beat Ohio in the Little Caesars Bowl.
Marshall comes into the game with the 74th ranked passing attack, averaging 212 yards per game. Their rushing attack is even worse, coming in at 92nd in the nation, averaging 123 yards per game. Florida International's passing attack and rushing attack are very even in terms of national ranking, as their passing attack is 69th and their rushing attack is 70th. They average 220 passing yards per game and 150 rushing yards per game.
I think a key player for Marshall is defensive end Vinny Curry, who is actually second in the nation this season with 21 and a half tackles for a loss, and he's tied second nationally with 6 forced fumbles and tied for 5th nationally with 11 sacks. So I'd like to see this Marshall defense really step up and see if Vinny Curry can really take control of the game.
Another key player for FIU actually is special teams return man T.Y. Hilton, who is 3rd in the nation in average kickoff return yards and also has a punt return for a touchdown. The catch is Florida International has not played a ranked team all season, and Marshall is 0-3 against ranked teams this season. Now, Florida International is 16th in the nation in points against, giving up only an average of 19 points per game. Now, keep in mind they are in the Sun Belt, but Marshall is 84th in the nation in points against, giving up nearly 30 points a game, and they're also in Conference USA. So I think that Florida International's defense is definitely better than Marshall's.
I do have another point on T.Y. Hilton. It says here that he is FIU's top receiver, and he has multiple school records such as catches, receiving yards, touchdowns, and overall scores. He has 36 overall scores in his entire career, which is fantastic. Well, the spread for the Florida International Marshall game is around 4 to 4.5, so I think that's pretty fair. I think that could possibly definitely be a spread.
Yeah, the 4.5 point favorite is for Florida International.
Yes, of course. Well, judging by how Marshall's defense gives up an average of 30 points a game, I just can't see it. I mean, T.Y. Hilton looks like he could just take over the game if he wanted to, as a punt returner and as a receiver. So I think I see Florida International beating Marshall 27-16.
I'm also going to agree with you again. I know we don't usually do that on football games.
Never.
But I just can't see any reason why Florida International would lose this game. I'm taking Florida International in this one in a low-scoring one, 23-10.
Thank you for watching this third game. We will be back in our next episode with the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl between the TCU Horned Frogs and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs.